Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
How you get a free drink?
I would take a free. I need a drink. Shiver, you're on intro duty. I'm grabbing a drink. Hello, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.
Hello and welcome to this week's Relay Station, where the questions don't matter and the prizes are worth nothing. Joining me this week is the the wonderful, gorgeous, sexy, has been voted sexiest Canadian of all time, Mr. Canada, Nakara.
I think you got the wrong Canadian, but okay. I'll take it.
You embody
I'll take
Canadianness.
Okay, Canadian-nessness.
Canada.
All right. I'm good with that.
Alongside him, joining me, and your host for this week, it is the hostess with the mostest. It is, of course, famous for exposing himself to those sheep. They didn't ask for it, but they got it anyway. It is, of course, Captain Underpants himself, Eris.
They had a bad time.
We're going to bleep that out in the edit.
We edit this?
You heard it here first. Now let's get the flock on with the show.
Are you sure about that?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to.
I really just do.
That was excellent, Shiver. I gotta say, like,
Especially,
well done.
You know, off the cuff. You all right there, Shiver?
Shiver needs some sleep.
God.
He got some sleep sometime this week. How's everybody out there doing?
Yeah,
Luscavian, how's it going?
Luscavian, Sargarath, Bluesy, how you all doing? I hope that everyone is safe and hale and well oiled.
You know, these days, most people think of hail and they think about getting hit by ice from the sky.
I know. It's a good word, though. Hail.
It is a good word. It is a good word. I think Shiver's going to get food again. What a jerk.
Oh, yeah.
I would love some. I'm trying to lose some weight.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Thank you, Noscave. I feel really bad for yesterday's game.
Hail.
We did.
Hail.
There are several ways that you could use that word, yes. There's several
Yesterday
spellings.
on Table of Horrors, we did charity game for Ukraine, Roll vs. Evil. Check it out, rollversusevil.com if you want to donate as well. Which consisted of sending my players against, an infested, horrible load of enemies. And I felt so bad for everything that happened. They got burned, they frenzied, they were shot, they were maimed. Noscavian was fed on, and he is extra delicious. So players had to be separated in game, of course. I felt really bad about it. And then at the end of it all, they were like, really enjoyed that Shiv. And I'm like, oh my God. So bad.
Just a bunch of masochists, I guess. I can still remember the one D&D game that I've ever DM'd.
Oh boy.
Where I had
one.
Only one. I was about, well, I think it was two, but it was about to start a campaign, and we had like 2 or 3 sessions, but they were like, we had planned them for like 3-4 hour sessions, but they ended up being about 20 minutes long because Link was in a phase where he was supposed to go down at 7, but didn't go down till like 9 or 10. So it was crappy. And then just as he started sleeping well, COVID hit, and I haven't seen the people that were in that group for 2 years.
Yep, that's about right.
But they had to kill some goblins, and I kept giving them the like backstory of these goblins as they killed them, and like they were killing this family of goblins that were just trying to, you know, protect their children and
I do that too. The classic line of, you rummage through the body and you find this wallet with a picture of the man's wife, his 3 kids, and you see he was only 2 days away from retirement.
yeah. Yeah,
They're always
it's
only
like,
2 days. Every character in Shiver's stories is only 2 days away from retirement.
yeah. Or like your arrow, okay, that's a crit. Your arrow goes straight through one ear and out the other of the goblin who falls down. And the goblin next to him screams in not anger, but loss and pain, and collapses at his corpse, pawing at his chest, and just lost. Not even tears, just disbelief
Eris.
and horror. Yeah.
Talking of arrow, what other game's got an arrow in it?
Marvel's Avengers, because Hawkeye's in it.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Star Citizen. All right, let's talk.
We've done our standard 5 minutes of trying to avoid talking about Star Citizen.
Look, we got a long
Thank you,
show to
Bryce.
fill.
I recently bought.
Oh, fancy.
Very good.
Nice.
You know, the Tomb Raider reboot, 1 and 2, excellent games. The third one, did not like it, which is unfortunate, but okay.
What didn't you like about it?
It wasn't different enough from the other ones, and
It's an expansion game. Got it.
well, it's that the pacing was really, really off. Like it just slogged, and it was a difficult slog, and there were like, yes, this is an underwater segment, an underwater stealth segment in a game with almost no other underwater swimming, and also there are flocks of piranhas, and if they see you, you die instantly, and you have to reload a 5-minute run through bad guys before you can even get to the water again. And it's like,
that's gross.
I think I did that part probably 10-15 times, and just like it was one of those times when you're not really like into the game, you're just trying to get through it, and then I just tried it, and it was like, no, I'm done, never playing it again.
After playing Jedi Fallen Order, and you know, it's they call it a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
I play in 15-minute segments, and I'm like, no, I'm just getting fucking angry at this. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
That's Souls likes though. You get angry at them.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right, let's talk about Star Citizen. There is stuff to talk about. Bryce
that's good.
Arena, you're
Hi, Bryce Arena.
I mean, you're right in that, man, it's gonna get nuts next quarter. But also, there's some really exciting stuff this week, and I know it may not seem that way, but let's just go straight to show and tell, because
Why, Eris? Shit. Why, Eris? What exciting news is there to talk about? Please tell us.
well, okay, now it feels like you have something in mind, and I don't know what it is you have in mind that was exciting. But I'm just gonna say I was really, really excited that Jake got a call out in this week's episode of Inside
Yes.
Star Citizen, because we love Jake, and
We do.
we'll never let him forget that he started with us.
Nope.
No matter how
Gotta
hard he tried.
No matter how hard he tries, exactly. Sorry, Jake, you got your start with relay. No matter where you. Oh my god. Sorry,
wrong?
I'm just now seeing the image that you posted, Eric. Wow. Wow.
I like that image because it's like one of us is not like the others.
Yep. So I love this bug, by the way, but this is it, there was basically a segment that I really like. I've said this a couple times when they've done this throughout the years, where they look at the different teams at CIG, the ones that we don't hear from all the time, because we hear a lot from lots of the like the heavier development teams, but this is the player experience team that they were talking to this week, and they're the ones that help make the live experience, the persistent universe, work.
Mhm.
They're the ones that have to look through everyone's complaining on the forums and test it and make sure that the complaining makes sense and figure out what's going on. And it's important for them to get a shout out because the game wouldn't be the same without them.
No, and there's going to be lots more. Like, it's like a fledgling group at this point of the company, but it's going to grow to be this gigantic, important
Yeah.
thing as we come along. Because a game this big is going to need a lot of live support people.
Yep.
I love this guy. I don't know. It might be the delay. He's just got this axe on the wall in the background, and you're like, I bet he's got some stories.
I don't know which one it is, but one of them has a in the background a poster of Wikipedia's music logo, which I really like because Wikipedia is awesome. I can't get over that bug. Anyway, it's good stuff.
Awesome.
It's important, and I'm glad that we got to see them, and I'm glad that Jake got a shout out. Yeah, that's all I've got for this segment.
Most important, we have a new title for Disco Lando.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, what was his new title?
Space Dad.
Ah, yeah.
Space Dad. All right. Hey, LSP.
Good with that.
Oh, hey, LSP.
Hello.
Bloody Space Patrol new.
Yeah. I mean,
Fuck,
LSP.
bollocks!
Just what?
Thank you, Sadako.
Everything okay there, Shiver?
I think he was surprised.
I see that. LSP, you say
Sorry, my shinobi wife just burst into the door in complete silence.
that's what you get.
Oh, thank you, LSP.
Bryce Serena, I do love swords. I do. I will admit. Okay. We got some look at new docking area work. Looks good.
Yep.
Docking
They
services.
explained on here that while docking is not new, not all the space stations had the ability to dock ships. So they were. This is work to add it to the rest of the stations in Stanton.
Yeah,
Because
Bryce Serena, do that. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you want all of these ships that can only dock to have somewhere to go,
Well, and this is
or
something
more
that
places to go.
I don't think we've really talked about too much, but I actually think we probably have, but I really like that they are going to be sort of migrating away from the pads.
Yeah.
I
it's
hate landing pads.
on that side or just
I
the
don't think they'll
space
be-
ones.
Space.
I don't think they're going to be completely annihilated and wiped out because, you know, smaller ships just use a pad. True, it's going to be
n-
difficult, but
No, they're getting rid of them.
oh, shit.
They're getting rid of them.
All of them?
Yep,
They don't make
they're
sense.
going to. They're putting
Weird.
hangars in. They're putting hangars in all the stations.
They don't make sense because they have to disapparate the ships, right?
Yeah.
To make room.
You gotta
Not
you
necessarily.
gotta magic the ship away.
Just some limited parking spaces. I'm all right with that. Form an orderly queue. I am British.
Well, and that on that note,
I'm
I
here
do
for queue gameplay. Thank you.
I do wonder
Quay
how they're going to
gameplay.
do Quay. I do wonder how they're going to do docking, because that's going to have the same problem as landing pads, right? When a ship docks, it's gonna have to dock, undock, de-dock, undock.
Anti-dog.
Eris, the published author, everyone.
Self-published,
Uh.
self-published. Anyone can be self-published, Shiver.
Oh man.
But do you remember?
I don't know what they're gonna do with dock ships. I don't think they're really worried about that yet because it's not. Yeah, you do one thing at a time.
I remember somehow back in the day, many moons ago, before the world was torn apart asunder by disease, war, and famine, for the most part. Oh fuck! What was his name? Mark, someone, gold shirt.
Oh, I know exactly.
Artist,
Here,
crazy thoughts.
I could see his face.
That guy, very talented guy whose name sadly I don't remember. Please forgive me. Mark, someone. Mark Goldshire was talking about it in a town hall, and he was saying at that time they were envisioning it like an underground car park where you would just have these ships rotating and be able to get out, and you can increase the capacity that way. Also, there's a possibility of just hand wavium of when the ship is no longer seen. Who cares? At that point, you have got to gamify sometimes.
Yep.
And it would be pure frustration from everyone's standpoint if, let's say, you have extremely busy trade hub, 50 parking spots in total, where you're going to have a quay. And that's no one really wants that.
Yeah.
Every time you say that in that way, David's heart grows 3 sizes.
Every time you say it in the proper way, yes.
So I found it. It's Mark Skelton.
Skeleton. Yep.
Yes! Thank you.
You got his first name. That's the important part.
I don't know the guy, so it's a bit rude to just say Mark, I feel. Mr.
Okay,
Skelton.
LSP, I gotta ask, what is the beautiful bar of space soap?
400i?
600. Okay.
Oh, the 600i. That makes
I was
sense.
trying to figure out which eye it was. I just wasn't sure.
It can't be the 400i because it's all like
Yeah,
slim
it's
and spindly.
it's like
Oh, the 400's a retro 50s
Yeah.
design one, isn't it? And it's,
Totally. Yeah.
600, and it was the 600 I pictured in my head. but
the 400 is the catamaran.
Basically.
It's the
The
space
flying
catamaran.
the space catamaran. Yeah, this guy right here.
It's actually
That's
kind
the
of,
one.
you know what? Hang on. That's actually kind of interesting because the 400 is a catamaran. The 890 is a like a big boat.
A yacht.
A yacht.
It's a yacht.
And then the 600 is kind of a bar of soap.
Kind of.
Why isn't it more like boat like?
Well, there are probably boats that look like that.
600 is the only one I don't find aesthetically pleasing from Origin. I have to say that quietly in case Griffin hears me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to slag it off. It's not my aesthetic thing. That 890
Well,
though.
I totally want them to make a. That would be so hilarious. Maybe as a joke ship someday. make a ship that looks like a tall ship, and have like solar sails for the sails on the mast.
I genuinely would like that.
That'd be so cool.
I
I'm sorry, LSP.
genuinely would like to see some solar sail concepts in Star Citizen. Maybe not for a human vessel, because the time frame doesn't make sense, but like a longer living alien race with solar sail vehicles always intrigues me.
That would be cool. I would love to see them at least try to make one. It'd be neat.
Yeah.
Not many games have ever even attempted it. Mostly because it actually isn't that well. There's a couple of really hard things about it. One being that in order for it not to look awful, you actually do need pretty good physics on the solar sail, which means it has to be a pretty modern game.
Yeah.
For the like movement of the Mylar.
Niskavian, yeah, kind of. I like that. Sorry, Bryce Arena.
How do we get rid of Nightbot?
I don't know. I'll have to look into how to get rid of Nightbot.
Permit.
I genuinely have no idea how to get rid of Nightbot. We will though. We will.
We're gonna murder Nightbot.
What's this? I was Bryce Serena, great minds. I was just about to say that I really like the where instead of like a tall ship and the solar sails are attached to the ship, the ship is being pulled by this array of solar. I find that really cool.
Solar sail ship in DS9 was really cool too. It was awesome. I really liked it.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that, something like that in Star Citizen someday. Maybe not today.
This is
tomorrow.
The Bajoran solar sailing ship from DS9. It was pretty cool.
That looks like a fish. It's a fish.
You look like a fish.
Thank you. I've always strived to be more pescan.
Is that why you have a license to gill?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the what is this one? We got some interior concepts for the
yes, Bryce
Drake.
Arena does.
Anyway, yeah, these internal. What are these? Tell me.
This would be white box, I believe. Yeah, this would be white box.
Is this the Corsair?
Pretty sure this is the Corsair. Am I wrong, David? You remember?
I literally don't remember. No, it's the Corsair.
Okay.
Yeah, Corsair.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's very ISS feel, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, except if our ISS had artificial gravity.
That's another thing. I'd
Absolute.
like some ships that don't have artificial gravity. That'd be cool.
There are some, but well, at least in lore there are some. I'm not sure if they actually work that way in the game.
I don't
But-
think that character has any underwear on. I gotta see that again.
No, I think it's just a it's just a nude mannequin.
I never liked the one seat behind the other.
It's a very Drake thing, though.
It is very Drake. I don't like it. I don't like that little fan on the left.
Oh yeah.
The washroom, that toilet seat looks large enough for me to fall into.
It's huge, isn't it?
It's huge. And those TVs are in a horrible spot for people that are actually sitting there. It's like, sit down for your meal and look up at the TV. Oh, look at that on there. Isn't that interesting? Why are those TVs so high up? I feel like the scale in the and that holy crap. When we get back to it. See how I don't know. The scale on this ship is wrong to me. And
Which
like,
part of it?
well, okay, when it gets back to it, the man standing and the bench
Mhm.
behind them, the bench doesn't even come up to his knees. It's like calf level. The bench is so low.
It may be a placeholder asset too.
I hope
This
it
is
is.
not
'Cause-
Anywhere near done.
Oh, it's bother. It's just
Yeah, you're right. He would really have to get down
he's
and
gotta
dirty there.
get really low to fit in that, right?
Yeah, totally.
And don't get again those keyboards as. I love the Corsair. I think it's a great looking ship. I really want more asymmetrical ships, but I do not like this interior so far at all.
But as a concept, though, it's quite nice. It's very Drake. All that exposed paneling, rough, ready
Exposed rafters.
feel.
Very
Yeah.
nice field of view. I mean, what I would give for that field of view in a Freelancer. Niskavian, you make a good point.
Feels like you'd also like crick the back of your neck though. Just like
Yep. Yeah, no, I like that everything's open in the Drake and you can see the conduits and see everything.
I just
But
can't
yeah.
wait till we're further along and just pieces of the interior just start blowing up when you get hit because it's Drake and
Yeah.
just shit falls off the walls and explodes and
Yeah, like I
pretty
want
great.
that entire
At least-
pipe there to come crashing down.
Yeah.
When you get hit. Yeah.
yeah, and your engineer has to like
And you
pick it
wanna-
up and shove it back up into the yeah.
I don't know if you're joking, but I do genuinely like the thought of being able to tour around the ship after you've had such a battle and you're just seeing your crew, your friends, welding it back together, putting it in place. I like that idea. I think that's cool.
So, yes, but and hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
There's going to be like a standard repair tool, right?
Yeah, there already is one.
I know, but I propose that if you are working on a Drake ship, that standard repair tool is replaced with a roll of duct tape.
I would support this.
And all repairs are done via duct tape as opposed to a repair gun. And it's an automatic replacement.
To extend
Just-
the entire inside of your ship is silver.
Yes.
Every
Just a
surface.
flying duct tape roll.
Yeah. That's my
do-
proposal.
I would love it if you could like I mean, I know that they have to put a limit of how far they go into some of these things, although they are going pretty deep on some of the mechanics. But I think like if your ship's wing gets blown off or something, you should be able to go and get it, and like weld it back on.
Well, and that's something that they've talked about and that kind of, and we know that is actually going to be in here. I'm gonna switch off this because I want to talk about that in a second. That's actually something that we know is sort of going to be there because let's say you're in a normal fighter ship and you do lose your wing and you kill the other guy and you survive. You might not be able to duct tape your wing back on, but you will be able to go out and take the weapons off that wing
Yep.
and
Yeah, for sure.
salvage them, right? Which in itself is really cool. Like, I can't leave. I need to find that weapon because I just spent 50,000 credits on it. I need to get that weapon back. You know, I like it.
That'd be yeah. It would be so funny if you could like maybe it would take a silly long time or something. Be hilarious if you could drag it back with a tractor beam and like weld around the wing and get it back on there. It's probably it'd give it like 1 health, just enough to get back to the space station.
You might be able, failing that, you might even just have enough hangar space to just tractor into your hangar and just leave it there and be like, that's my wing.
That's Boeing. uh, oh boy.
Uh,
Oh boy.
wait, where was I? Right, I was here. Um, let's go back to this. Okay, so Drake Vulture. I still really want those little wings on the top to like disconnect. This looks so much like it should be a mini robot, like a V2Z8, like a Star Wars robot that like it looks so cute.
Yes, it looks like a little drone.
It does. So paint schemes. What do you guys think? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I need to see them all again. We gotta wait for it to go back around.
Okay, watch it, and I want to
3
know
or
what people
4?
in chat think too. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Give me some numbers.
4 if
2.
you want the racing variant.
2. What does everybody in the chat think? Do you like 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the? Bryce Reno likes yellow. The architect says
3 is-
dos.
Dos.
3 is lovely, but yeah, 3 is what I would prefer. 4 is obviously the racing variant. Simple as that.
That's interesting. Because I hate 3 and 4.
Of course you do. You got terrible taste.
Yellow fits this vehicle to me. It always has. It's I really like its yellow look. It's like a bumblebee with really big mandibles. I don't mind number 2, but it looks a little bit too military to me, and this doesn't scream military ship at all for me.
Number 2 just seems more Drake to me. That was all. I don't know. I liked it.
It's more Drake, but I like that this isn't Drake. Like the cockpit's not very Drake. The design of it's not very like. This is the least
Except for
Drake ship.
It is the least Drake ship, but when you look at all the details, it screams Drake.
Yeah.
My favorite still being the ladder that is bolted onto the side of the ship.
Yes. I hate 3.
It flies through space, and there's a ladder hanging off the side.
I don't like 3.
Why do you hate 3?
I don't like the white. I find the white with like 3 different black and grays. I don't like it. It's too much going on, and it looks too much like one of those angry ass ants that has like little white bands on it. Don't like them.
That's very specific.
Sam, sorry, that got me. But
I mean, no one wants to have any ass ants, Shiver.
Especially not angry ass ants. Because look, there's ass ants, and then there's angry ass ants.
Think about what that ship's going to look like.
An ass ant?
Aging and demons. Oh, fuck off. And I don't even remember the fucking process for it now, but when it's just aged, it's covered in scorch marks and things like that. It's going to show it's been used. It's had this age on it. And the yellow, the yellow that fits the role very nicely. But 3 is going to be able to show more character on that ship given time.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, let's move on. This made me very excited.
And we're just gonna sit on this clip for the rest of the show.
Pretty much.
We're gonna make how pretty this is noises.
So this is the sort of look and build dev on turning
Actually, this clip isn't the one I thought it was.
No, this is the look and build dev on, but I'd also stay and watch this forever. A derelict reclaimer with Uh,
Base built around it.
one, a living area built around it, and two, procedural, um, like landscape matching. So if
Yeah.
the landscape is foliage, that foliage will propagate ivy and stuff. If it's snow, that snow will propagate it. And I have to feel like it's going to get worse over time depending on how long the wreck has been there. There will be more ivy, more snow, etc. And it
Well-
looks so good.
But what is going on with Rex? Because didn't they say that after a certain amount of time, Rex will despawn?
Player Rex will despawn. I don't think
okay.
these hero locations, quote unquote, will despawn. That's my feeling anyway. I do think that there's a lot of this is one of many things that they're at the very beginning of. I think they have I think they have the opportunity to let Player Rex become Hero Rex, though, if they want to. Maybe, and you probably can't let them all become Hero Rex like this that have, you know, aging and a base built around them and stuff.
Yeah.
But what you could do is take the data from Quanta and go, if there are a lot of ships destroyed in this area, maybe of this type, lots of cargo ships destroyed in this area, we'll create a hero wreck here. You know what I mean?
I
This
think
is
procedurally.
I think they're also. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shiver.
No, Nakara was not finished.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
No.
I'm good. Go ahead, David.
No, go ahead, Shiver.
I fucking will. I think that another route they could take it is player ships won't become hero
Rex.
Red Roses and Forever Wache won't become Hero Rex by default. But you could claim them with a land claim or some other similar tool for certain size ships and above that you could then integrate and build a base from. For
Ooh, that'd be
instance,
cool,
Reclaimer,
too.
that's what I'm wondering, if they might do that, because you could use,
Another
say
good
the
idea.
Reclaimer has crashed in, but it's got semi-functional power cells or whatever,
Mhm.
like a T850, and you can use that to start to build your base, because obviously you start building your base around that, and one day you walk in, it's despawned, and your base has got no power, and you're like, oh shit.
That
But
would
if
be
they claimed
honestly.
it like that,
And the cool thing is too, with the systems they're building, they could do both of those things. What I suggested and what you're suggesting as well. Like if you
Yeah.
put a land claim on an area that has a wreck already in it, that wreck becomes persistent. That would be really cool. And then you could hook up your base to the engines of the Reclaimer and be like, you know,
Now,
it still works.
I could be wrong here, and my memory ain't what it used to be, but I think they were mentioning at one point the idea that these wrecks are going to be as persistent as they can be, right? They want things to be as persistent as possible. Now, if you've got 50 wrecks in like a 2-mile radius, okay, we can't have all that. But as much as possible, I think they're going to want wrecks to appear where ships get wrecked. Now, there's a couple ways. Yeah, Javs, like a Javelin wreck is persistent. Bengal wreck would be persistent.
Yeah, those are easy wins too.
Yeah,
Like
lots of gameplay on
mine
those.
as well.
Reclaimer, a lot more value in it being persistent than something like an Aurora, right? But I think what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to see how players use it, because like you're saying, if players can build bases around it, then they're not going to be able to despawn that wreck. But the other thing that these wrecks are going to be used for is salvage. So if there's a Reclaimer and it's being salvaged, there's probably going to be a cutoff point where, okay, the wreck has been salvaged to 80%. We are now, next time no one is in view, we are despawning that wreck. right? And it's going to be for players and for Quanta, because the idea of Quanta is that if there is a wreck on the ground, that wreck doesn't necessarily have to be spawned. It's in a percentage volume, whatever it is, right? Where probability volume, where you've got X number of Quanta that visit that probability volume, which means X number of Quanta visiting a reclaimer carrying this much salvage away each time. After 40 Quanta trips, that reclaimer is gone, despawned. No player might even see it, but it was there, ready in case a player went. But now it's despawned because it's been mined out and no player went there. This is all what they've talked about wanting to do. Shiver, then Eric.
Brain moment, right? Quanta, NPCs salvaging this ship, right? And they're sending these ships out, right? Let's intercept that ship, steal the shit. They've done all the work, and we'll get all the fucking money.
Says Shiver the pirate.
What if we intercept...
That's not piracy!
Shiver, what if we intercept the salvaged ship before it gets destroyed?
But then what, you mean to our own salvage? That's what NPCs are for, man. Let them salvage a ship, do all the work, we'll intercept all the ships, we get to keep their ship that they're using to transport it, so we don't even need to employ a new ship. Then we can sell everything.
I like it. Eric, you were going to say something? Sorry.
No, I got
That's what
nothing
I'm going to do with
against
my
that.
javelin.
I got nothing against that.
Anyway,
Oh,
this is really
this looks
exciting.
Great.
And they're doing this with the Reclaimer. I know we've seen some work on stuff like this with the Starfarer as well. I think they're going to be doing this sort of thing with the larger ships that could run a small base off their power, which clearly this one is doing. And we're going to see a lot fewer like a crashed Freelancer. I mean that wouldn't even fill up a Reclaimer one.
That's a snack
right.
for a Reclaimer.
Yeah, exactly what the architect thinks, and it fits in exactly with what Eris and Kara have said as well, that you can have a small shipwreck for... It's probably going to have a small timer on it. Player can go there, salvage it. If not,
I don't think it's going to have a timer. I think it's going to genuinely be based. No, it's going to be based on the Quanta.
Well, sorry. Okay, yes, but that in itself is the timer.
Right, it's the number of visits.
We'll be aware that there's this wreck there. Blop blop blop.
The difference is that it feeds back into the economy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It won't be just spawn wreck in 20 hours, despawn wreck. It's spawn wreck when wreck has been mined out, despawn wreck.
Yeah, but I do think that in essence it's going to be a timer for all
from the outside looking in, for sure.
Well,
yeah, as far as if no one ever goes there, it's literally just ones and zeros in the system and will function exactly the same as a timer.
And thinking about it, they actually need this system to work, because otherwise there isn't going to be much to salvage.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
right?
you need to actually have salvage for people to do.
Question for you both, and I'm pretty sure it exists in lore, but do you think we'll see basically a planet that is junkyard of the ships, or even just a space junkyard of the ships? Is, for all intents and purposes, it will be a resource that anyone could go to get cheap salvage at any time. Basically, it's literally a junkyard, and you just go.
I know this. I know this. What's the planet that Drake ships are made on?
Wow.
Shots fired.
Shots landed, my friend. Shots landed.
But yeah, that would be quite cool. You've got to have these starting... You want to get a career in salvaging or any other thing, you're going to have to start somewhere from the bottom up if you don't know how to salvage, which will involve going to this junkyard that is full of shit, just shit and shit, and you've got to sit there, sort through it, come back with a single titanium panel, and make a quick profit on it, and build your way up like that. So in my opinion, there should always be a place that's got salvage that's never going to run out, even if it's just a shit salvage.
Oh yeah,
Some many
totally.
needs.
Yeah.
And they can easily lure that in too, with it being like a historical battle, and there's like thousands
Yeah.
of ships that were destroyed there.
Yeah.
And
Thing is,
by the way, I'm very disappointed in all of you that you did not respond to the fact that I actually found where Drake makes their ship.
I laughed. I'm impressed. So a couple. Actually, no. I don't want this yet because we're still talking about the
The
active
planet of
salvaging.
junk, inhabited
planet
by
of
Eric
junk.
Idle. Transformers movie, get some culture.
Transformers aren't culture. Not since Michael
fuck
Bay
you and
came
your-
in.
Fucking hockey stick you rode in on. Just because Wayne Gretzky wasn't in Transformers.
That'd be a good cameo.
Oh,
So,
man.
sorry, I wanted to say that, and I'm really excited for CIG to detail a little bit more how salvage is going to work, right? Because repair is going to be honestly fairly simple, at least the base level of repair. There's going to be fixing broken components, which we don't know how in depth they're going to go into in that yet, but given CIG, you're going to be manually spot welding broken wires and replacing circuit boards and running diagnostics on components because they're nuts. But the basic level of repair is going to be there is this damage to your hull. You have a canister of a repair gun and you're spraying like basically you're
Basically
spraying
hull.
foam. You're spraying foam hull back on it to repair it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Salvage is going to work in a very similar fashion because Shiver, you're saying there needs to be like a planet of junk. Well, a load of junk. That
Everyone
it'll
that's
be
on
a-
it books and TV.
I think it'll be like an asteroid belt in a system, but it's just all dead ships.
honestly, it should just
That
be
would be even.
it should just be like a Bengal. Here's where the Bengal is. You can pull material off Bengal for 40 years before getting anywhere. I don't know why that accent came
Wow.
out. I'm
Why
sorry.
are you a Scottish Russian?
I'm
He's trying
just
to-
bad at accents.
I mean, I like the idea of a space-based junkyard because just the different angles you could approach things from, quite literally, would be very appealing. And then you come across the wreck of a Bengal and you can get really lost, and it could just create a genuinely interesting experience salvaging small panels that way. I mean, I think we've all played Shipbreaker.
Great
And-
game.
Yeah, brilliant game. And there are moments in there when the gravity's off and you just get really lost and confused in some of the tighter corridors.
Well,
That would
and,
be amazing.
and this is what I wanted to say because this idea of a space junkyard makes a lot of sense to me because, again, probability volumes, right? You're starting out in salvage. Mostly what you're going to be doing is you're going to be stripping ships of their hull. But then you're going to get lucky and you're going to find, oh shit, this one still has an
shield
X3000 shield generator. That's worth the cash, right? But it's not going to be every ship that has that. And that's where salvage is going to be interesting because you're going to start with salvaging like individual bits of hull, and then you're going to move to trying to salvage the hardware that sells for more, and then you're going to get to a point of a reclaimer where you don't even give a ship about the components, you just eat the entire ship, right?
I still think their game design is that you would still go and take the components out of the ship, and then you'd eat the ship.
I'm sort of hoping that the claw would help with that. Like,
Totally, it could, because you can hold the ship in space.
Yeah, but the thing about the claw and I have to turn off my fucking RTX thing for this. The thing about the claw is, right, it's not going to be very reliable. So there is going to be a chance that you're not going to be able to get a doohickey or something with it. And then, you know what you're going to say?
Oh god, here we go.
I'll get you next time. Get it next time.
That was excellent.
I like it. Well, I'm wondering
So,
actually.
and is an Inspector Gadget game the next one up?
Yeah. So Sargareth, yes, the drones are there, but I don't know what the drones are going to do. Hopefully they can help retrieve components. I'm actually wondering if the claw might do that as well, instead of grabbing onto the ship and holding the ship, because why do you need to hold the ship? The ship's just floating in space. You don't need to hold it anywhere. It's just there.
I would love to know what the drones are for. I don't think they've explained them yet.
I
They're just
wanna know if
"It's
you
got
can-
drones.
I want to know if you can like use the claw to grab onto like a size 7 weapon and just yank it loose. I know technically you couldn't in space because it would all come with it, but like the claw will cut off the component and just remove the component more easily than having to go out there manually. I don't know. The claw has to have some use, though they probably honestly didn't plan the use when they designed the ship. They just designed the ship with the claw because it looked cool, and now they have to find a use for the claw because
sounds about right.
the Reclaimer was pretty early.
Yeah, it was.
So
Maybe.
Thankfully, it was early enough that they can.
materials-
That it was early enough to inform the design of salvage around the Reclaimer, so
yes,
they should have a use for the claw.
yeah. Shiver, what's that?
What if different parts of the ship are made from different materials, and so when you're ingesting an entire ship, everything's just mishmash. So you've got the outside hull, which is made of separate materials, much stronger materials than the inner
The
hull.
inside.
But then
What do you do with the
let's
squishy
say
bits?
the outer hull materials, no, the inner hull materials will be worth more. So you'll want, or whatever, we want to take the claw to take the panels of it and store it in a specific storage bay just for that, because those materials are worth more, not ground up into a
Maybe,
fine
but
paste.
what do you do with
Yeah.
the squishy bits inside?
David, I have an answer for you.
Humans.
What's that?
That's what's in the like hypospray things that you heal yourself with. Yeah, it's the squishy bit.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
What do they call them?
Sargareth.
Mini pens. Yeah, they just that's it's a product sold directly by Reclaimers.
Yep.
They mush up all the squishy bits inside the ship and store it in a tank, and then they just fart it into one of those containers. and you
Garbage
inject
Woman
yourself
actually
and
founded the company. She's
Yeah.
been very, very prosperous. Yeah. Loot the squishy bits.
heal. Shiver like that. That was good.
What an adjective to use.
Squishy
They
bits?
fart it into the needle.
I mean, I'm sure with hang on, let's be real here. With Death of a Spaceman, there's going to have to be a underground black market for real eyes, not like lab grown or cybernetic ones. And those got to come from somewhere.
Why would anyone want stupid, squishy, fleshy eyes when you can have a cybernetic eye?
I don't want a cybernetic eye.
Oh,
EMP
God,
and you're
Luddite.
blind.
Who cares? You're a Luddite.
Moist. Okay, we're going back to that video because I want to gush now.
Oh yeah, now we get to gush. Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna gush
I think
everywhere.
there's some gushing going on that Reclaimer too, but
There's a lot of gushing. This episode is just 9 on 10 gush. Very moist, very squishy.
and our viewers dropped.
Come on, they know what they're here for. Moist, squishy bits.
All right, let's go back to the gorgeous salvage
So,
animation.
and you guys are out of sync on this, so I'm going to do it just for the viewers who are on time. This looks okay, but I think it's the next view that we go to. Look at this. You can actually see the
Serena,
particles.
stop posting links. You know Nightbot's there.
I thought. You can see the particles fall between these little beams, right? So there's these beams that run across this ship, and the particles are falling between the beams. The detail that they have gone to in this is honestly bloody insane.
Yep.
And they really didn't need to, but that's like
Okay.
we were
Let's admire the hitbox here too.
that's what I'm saying. Last week we saw that video of the Saber Raven landing with the two posts right between its triangle holes, and we were like,
Yeah.
look at that hitbox. Well, this is telling us that all of those metal beams have a hitbox.
Geometry.
They have
They're all in
geometry.
geometry.
They have
Because you can shoot
hitbox.
right through the wing to the other side of the wing. Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
and that makes me wonder, like, if a bullet hits the geometry, is it going to do more damage to your ship than if it hits the non-geometry? And
Once the physicalized damage is in there properly, I would think so. Yes.
like, can we take a second to understand the insanity of that? I play a shit ton of or I used to play a shit ton of like FPSs, right?
Yep.
I played Battlefield and Call of Duty like competitively, but well, Call of Duty before there was really internet competitive, but God, I'm old. Like a hitbox in an FPS is like, yes, this is the square for your head, and oh God, GoldenEye. Remember GoldenEye? And everyone always wanted to take Oddjob because Oddjob was the only character with a different hitbox, and he had a harder hitbox, and the default aiming couldn't hit Oddjob. That's the standard use of a hitbox in an FPS game. It's just a bunch of boxes. This is it's fucking black magic, okay?
Oh, it totally is. The fact that they actually have real geometry in those wings with the beams is just insane. It's insane, and especially if it does, and I'm pretty sure it will, but especially if it does translate to physicalized damage, because then you're gonna be like, I've salvaged that ship before. I know there's a structural beam right here. I'm gonna shoot it there. It's gonna blow up. I win.
Bri, I don't know if it's just a mesh, because the game is able to determine.
shader.
Or sorry, I don't know if it's just a shader, because the game is able to determine the difference between the beams and the not beams, so it will be able to do that for gunfire as well.
That. No. Just let him have it. Just let him have it, Bryce.
What?
Serena. Let him have it. You literally just described what a shader is.
Cool.
Yeah, but I don't. It doesn't. For the purpose of the hitbox, it doesn't matter, though, right? Like.
I don't know how to answer that because that's like saying this apple and this orange work the same because they're both fruits, right? And it's a lot. There's a lot more nuance to it than that. Let's just say it's possible it's a shader or it could be a mesh, but for resource purposes, it is likely to be a mesh. Shader. Fuck, you've got me doing it now. A shader is literally just this thing that is very quick.
Oh yeah. Shaders are very, very quick. Yeah. I would love to see an explanation from a graphics guy about exactly what's going on here.
I don't know. It's
Yes.
They're following through the ship where there aren't the cross beams, and they're falling on the beams where there are the beams. That
I don't. By the way, for Bryce, I don't think that is actually parallax occlusion. I think that is actually tessellation that's going on there, which would make a lot more sense, I think, because you've got the particles that have got to react to something, and if it's a parallax texture, then they've got to go out their way a lot harder for each beam to say impact with this will work in this way. Whereas if it's tessellation, the way that they've set the engine up, it can be registered as this is solid object. And I'll be quiet. I'm sorry.
Look, I don't know how it works. I'd love
You know
to
what?
know how it works. I just think it's freaking cool.
It's really freaking cool. I want to give huge credit to the VFX folks because the like black smoke that's coming off there, and you can actually see the light is reflecting off the smoke as well. It looks real good.
The blue light on the smoke as it rises is
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, no, this is and this is like, you know, tier 0 before it's even out. It's gonna get a lot better than this, which is
And
insane.
Hang on, look at that. It's right there in the right corner. Left wing 49 like the numbers are going down as they take out more
Yeah,
of
the health
that
of
wing.
the wing is going down. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I just Sargarath, you know what? Okay. Look, to me, and this is just me, but this detail
Yeah, like, you know, he like always has it in his back pocket or something, you know. Oh,
It is nice, and I like the way it looks. But if you've done that 20 times and you've just got to sit there the 21st time through an entire wing, you're going to
Oh,
get
yeah.
really
Well-
annoyed, and you'll want a wide beam.
they show
some
two
point.
different
Something
beam
interesting.
sizes. The first one is unacceptable. This one that's showing right now for me, that should be the starting beam size.
I don't even think it's going to be starting beam. I think that this is just trying to say, you know, you've got a beam for finer work, and then you've got a beam for these fucking wings.
And a lot of it's just going to be a lot of it's balance too, right?
Yeah.
You start off with this, and then you're like, okay, is this fun? Is it interesting? Can I make any money off of this in a reasonable amount of time? No, I can't. So we make the beam bigger so you gather faster.
And
You
and
know, so
look
on
at
and so forth.
and look at what they've done with mining. Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a beam modifier that gives you a 5-foot radius, and you're gonna have a beam modifier that goes through this faster, and a beam like
Yeah.
And you know what? Then they're gonna have little gadgets that you can snap onto the wing that will spread out and eat the wing for you, and you just have to collect what it's eaten in a
Yeah, totally.
20-foot
Exactly.
rate. Like they're
I
gonna
was thinking the same
have
thing. And not only that, then you're also going to have like probably better handheld gadgets, and then you'll have the Vulture, which can do this on a much bigger scale. You know, like lots of options to go forward in your
Yeah.
salvaging career.
Don't forget
The-
weapon tuning. Surely you'll be able to tune your
Yeah.
salvage beam as well.
probably.
Yep.
It's the detail of this is astounding, and we've seen them like the mesh that they've got of the ship's hull, and I know it's just a mesh or whatever. It's the easy way
Shader.
they've done it. It's
Shader.
nuts.
Cookies.
It's a
Yeah.
shader. Yeah, sorry. It's still insane. I can't think of many other games that have gone to this much detail for damage.
So like 7 years from now, when they're like, oh, we've finished Star Citizen, now what do we do? Then they can be like, you know what we can also do is pirates can have a salvage beam, and they can like get rid of the like top layer of hull on a ship, and then they can have like a welding beam where they like cut through the hull, and then they can jump down inside the ship.
They've talked about though, haven't they?
They can't do it right now because creating new entrances to ships is difficult in a physics way.
For now.
Yeah, that's why I said in 7 years when they have some time.
It's not
to mess
going to
around.
take them 7 years. One of the Germans is going to be sitting there in the shower one day and be like, "Oh,
One of the Germans.
I got it." And it's going to be solved.
Yeah.
I get it.
That was
I
the
figured it out.
issue was creating new like physics holes in the ship was difficult.
They'll get it.
That was why they showed, and this makes total sense, and it's a good way to do it. But that's why they showed in that one demo they were going in in the port where a turret was blown off of a ship.
Yeah.
Because that's a natural hole into the ship, right?
Yep.
Salvage is cool, and I can't wait to salvage things.
Yep. Agreed.
I
I think that's all the
Well-
videos.
think it's all the videos. They did talk on.
I'll be right
no,
back.
this is not.
Carry
It's
on.
not
Eric.
overly
I'll be right back.
surprising or anything, but on Star Citizen Live, they were talking about how their focus right now is to try and get all of the careers into the game into a tier 0, like all of the careers into the game in a tier 0 fashion, so that they can start iterating on them. But they want to at least get them into the game first, which is excellent. The I think we're all very fascinated to see. Of course, my mind always goes to exploration and research and science, which is going to be possibly the hardest stuff for them to do because it's kind of hard to quantify science and research in a game. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see what they decide to do with that. Star Citizen Live was again really good this week. Enjoyed watching it. It was the EU gameplay team, I believe. Yeah, gameplay feature team or whatever. Yeah, they were talking a bit about refueling. They talked a bit about salvage. The refueling thing is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to checking that out in the game as well.
So I want to mention, and my headset cut out a little bit there, so let me know if you already mentioned it. But they want to get everything in a tier 0 state.
Yep.
But let's use exploration, exploration and science as an example. Those are a fair ways out. Largely because, I mean, right now there isn't really anything to explore. They've got to create the stuff to explore before they can even do exploration, really.
Depends what you decide to make as the tier 0 exploration gameplay.
Yeah, but there's got to be something. We haven't even heard an inkling of anything. The point is, by the time they get, say, tier 0 of exploration, mining will probably be like, what, tier 4? Salvage will be your tier 2. Like just because they want
That was
to
actually
get...
their point. No, that was actually their point. Is they're not doing that. They're
Really?
going to get every career in a tier 0 fashion first, and then
So-
go back and iterate on them.
So they're going to get salvage in tier 0 and then
Yeah.
not do anything to it? That seems...
That was what they were talking about. Was they were going to get them into the game and then move on to the next career and basically get all the careers into the game, and then iterate on them later. I think mining was an exception because it was the first career, so they've done some work on it because it was already there. You know. So
strange, but
I think that exploration can already be in there. You saw what we showed last week with the guys who mapped the air in Halo. That can actually be gameplay. They like that actually has the game mechanics tied to it. They did it in a very manual, out of the game way. You know, mapping asteroid belts, finding resources for players, finding places for land claims once that's a deal.
I mean, they can do that once you can set your own beacons to travel to,
Yep.
right? And then you could set the beacon and sell
The
the
quantum
beacon
beacons, yeah.
location.
Yep.
But they need quantum beacons for that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of things that they
At
need
the
along the way.
moment,
They were talking about. Go ahead. Sure.
well, quantum beacons are in this state where they have them, but they don't actually have them.
One of the things they were talking about too is that they can't for refueling right now. You can't create your own, your own like what are they? Actually, I think they're called beacons too. Like the "Please come help me" beacon. The
Yep.
like, "Hello, I need a hand." They weren't able to get them in for 317, so they're like, "So for refueling for this patch, at least, you're just gonna have to ask people in chat to come help you."
They really
Um,
need those beacons though, right? Like those beacons
They do,
are going
yeah.
to be
Well, they're basically you're creating a quest, and
Yeah.
that's why it's not like I think that's why it's not trivial.
yeah.
They do.
It's because it's not as simple as just throw a beacon out, done. It will also have to tie into every single. Well, it will have to tie into Quanta, basically. It will have to tie into the database. It will have to all that plug in. So on our end, it is just as simple as throw a beacon out. But under the hood, with the engine, everything has got to be made aware of it. The universe has got to be made aware of it. So it is posted to players. It is posted to NPCs, and they all have to then know how to respond to it.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's going to get worse
Oh, it always does.
because at some point they're going to add planets rotating.
Yep.
And then it's not
And-
just a beacon.
Well, actually, no.
it's...
Planets rotate now. You mean planets orbiting?
Yes, sorry, orbiting.
Yeah.
And then it's
Well, after the beacons, they've got to work on procedural food because you can't have a breakfast of beacon without eggs.
Shit, that is David's favorite
we-
feature in Star Citizen.
we have seen their procedural food, Shiver. They already went over and
water.
above on procedural
Yeah, but
food.
we haven't got it yet. Where are my fucking eggs?
With Squadron 42.
I demand unfertilized chicken, period, please. Thank you.
Oh man, love it. But yeah, I mean,
And
even
you know
the,
what this
even
means
the
as well?
idea. What was that?
This proves that the egg will come before the chicken.
Oh dear lord.
We don't know that. They could get chickens in game before Squadron 42. It's not impossible. Man, I want chicken farming in game.
Okay.
Look,
On your
they've got
endeavor?
the. Hang on. Here we go.
These chickens.
No. Here we go. So we
KFC,
know.
Cooper fried chicken.
No. Better. We know that CIG have food system. We know that farming exists to create that food system. So you're going to be able to have like a little farm where you raise chickens, hopefully, for eggs, and you raise, wheat and turn it into bread, and maybe some pigs for bacon. But I want to go a step further. I've been talking for a long time about how I think that one of the most important ships for Star Citizen is going to be a food truck. And I stand by that. Food truck, extremely important. Would actually be great. You could have like an Endeavor grown food as like your thing. Like right now it's organic. No, this is Endeavor grown as opposed to Planet grown, because that would be better. No, what I'm saying that we need here is a bed and breakfast ship that you can have your own little farm behind it, but then you can give people like they can park your ship at your ship and they can log out safely.
This just sounds like a variant of the Endeavor.
Yeah, the bed and
I was thinking
breakfast
it sounds
variant.
like a variant of the Starliner.
That too.
That would work.
Or even, maybe, I suppose actually the 890 is kind of like that.
No.
See, It's more like a hotel, really.
Okay, no.
Because you're,
No, because
you have this luxury tour. I don't think this is a 4-hour tour.
Look, a nice little quaint bed and breakfast is one thing. The 890 isn't that. The 890 is like ostentatious billionaire yacht that's going to get seized when the owners do something sketchy. Nobody that owns an 890 is like, yes, I'd like to go to a bed and breakfast and have a nice lie-in. No, they're all about drugs and parties and loud music and bad decisions. I don't like the 890, okay? Oh, what was that I was saying?
I'm not sure.
No, like I
Breakfast
said
ship.
I said it a long time ago, months now, that
Endeavour grown food. You all
no
looking
no
forward
eight
to...
890 owners are all like upper class billionaire sociopaths.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And?
No, it's just saying it.
Way to cast aspersions on a wide range of people there.
Most of our fans, yeah. I mean, he does that every week, though.
I mean, I think you'll find that most people who don't like the Carrack have had some sort of lobotomy.
Yeah. Yeah, all their classes.
Most people.
Harris.
Most people don't like the Carrack because the Carrack is an ugly ship. It's nothing. The Carrack is.
Yes, go on.
Look,
Yes.
the Carrack is a date that you signed up for on Tinder that you showed up to, and the person looks nothing like their profile pictures.
What are you intending to do with the Carrack?
There it is.
Ride it?
That fits with the Tinder. Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
It's a good rebuttal as well. I'll give you that.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, the Carrack was a very, very good-looking ship in concept, and it's not now. Period.
It gained a few pounds. We all did in quarantine. It's not its fault. It'll lose them in time. It's fine.
I wonder if I can. Carrack is.
I've never understood how, if you own a ship, how
Who's
you
Carrack
can-
again?
I'm not that I know you don't own a Carrack, but how someone can
Anvil.
dislike the look of a ship and own it, and it's like, yeah, but you're not looking at the outside of it ever. I mean, you probably will be every so often if you so wish to switch to an external camera, but you're not going to be flying it like that. You're not going to spend most of your time staring at your own ship because you're in it.
Oh no, it doesn't work.
Depends how
Okay, I
much
don't
people
have-
want to. Well, there are definitely people who are just going to stare at their ship all day.
But it's like Eris, who says he prefers to play female characters in games to stare at their bum, and it's like, it's an FPS. You literally never look at your character.
But it's because
And he
I don't
still
play it
makes
to
a
stay
female character, and it's like-
stare at their bum. I do it because I prefer to play a female character. Carrack's an ugly ship.
I know there are so many episodes now where you have said that you just do it to stare at the bum.
Yes, but now he has responsibilities. So.
Also, by the way, what the fuck are you doing if you're playing a game and you're too busy staring at your character's bum? I don't want to be on your team. I want someone who's going to shoot the enemy and is looking out for me.
I don't think it's multiplayer games. I don't think it's multiplayer games that are usually the.
This is why he's bad at games.
Since when am I bad at
He's
games?
pretty good at games.
I mean,
He's
I'm
played
good.
Elden Ring.
So much Elden Ring.
So much Elden Ring.
Just too much Elden Ring.
Is there too much Elden Ring?
135 hours. Yes.
Oh man! Holy crap! It's a lot of Elden Ring. How close are you to being done?
Do you finish Elden Ring?
I don't know. Do you? I haven't played yet.
I mean, I guess technically you could. I'm not close to being done. Let's put it that way. I figure I've
Oh,
probably got at least another 10 to 15 hours.
Okay.
At
You're actually
least.
quite close to the finish then. Oh, that's funny.
On one character. The character I'm playing now is only 55 of those 130 hours. So I made a bunch of characters.
You sure did.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna actually bring this back to Star Citizen because I've been thinking about it a lot while playing Elden Ring.
Wait, who are you? Where did Eris go?
I'm Superman.
Oh, that explains a lot.
That makes sense.
So I've been thinking about this a lot while playing Elden Ring, which is loot in Star Citizen, because loot in Elden Ring is fine. There are, 6 great spears. They all have the same attack, basically. They've got slightly different stats. There's, I don't know, 30 or 40 different sets of armor that have different looks and different stats and stuff. And it's like, I mean, Star Citizen isn't quite there yet, but Star Citizen will definitely surpass something like Elden Ring in variety of loot. And I know for a long time I was saying that like Star Citizen really has to find a way to make all of the loot interesting, so you're not just collecting 11 billion level 1 pistols that suck, because that's boring. And Elden Ring
but
doesn't.
now we found out that by the time the game comes out, there's going to be like 70,000 pistols. So.
Yeah, but and it's Elden Ring doesn't do it quite that way, because there's a chance when you kill a thing that a thing will drop, so you only amass a couple of an item anyway. But Star Citizen's gonna have sort of the same effect through a different manner, right? Like Elden Ring, it's not nearly as much about the weapon or the armor that you're wearing. They help a little bit, but it's how you play the game that matters more than the weapon. Star Citizen is going to be kind of the same thing. Like, it's how you play the game is going to matter more than the loot that you have and the weapons that you have. Like, the weapons will make a bit of a difference, but it's... Oh, geez. Griff.
Thank you, Griffin. Clearly, you weren't here earlier to hear what Eris was saying about the 890.
Yeah, we don't need to repeat that because Griffin will, remove us from the internet.
Ow! I hit the table with my hand and it hurt.
Good. That's what you get for casting dispersions about the 890 and its owners.
It's not my fault it looks like a shoe.
890 is a lovely looking ship, and I look forward to seeing it in... It's not a ship I probably own, because there's not enough guns. I look forward to seeing it.
Lady, hang on, Lady
I
Space
approve of
Patrol.
Griffin's, I approve of Griffin's response.
LSP, you are right that there was some Origin hate, and you are right that revenge was had by the table, because the table is about as aesthetically pleasing as an Origin ship.
You don't hate all
Fuck
Origin.
you and the moose you rode in on. Origin are lovely ships. Literally, my first ship was a 300i. Then it was a 325A.
You gave 3 ships in the Origin lineup Bs.
Yeah,
That doesn't seem ugly to me.
they've got some nice ships. They Origin have some nice ships. They've also got the 890 jump. But I also I like... they know that I love them. This is just,
I think we're going to need to do a new bullship episode. We're missing some ships.
we are. We're going to have to do an update bullshit at some point.
We also need to do the special episode where you rate all of the Vanduul ships.
Yes, we do. We do. We'll get there.
He hates them.
Ease for every one of them.
I haven't even looked at the Vanduul ships in a long time, to be honest, so I don't even know what they look like.
I really like the look of the Vandal ships. They're pointy, they're aggressive, they don't piss around. One of them looks like it's about to slam into the side of your ship and slice your face off. Love them. The bomber, does the bomber still have like that? Is the bomber the weird like opening that looks like shark's teeth grinding around? Awesome. How intimidating is that?
I gotta reply to this because it's amazing. Niskavian, we have never had Moose Cavalry in Canada, but they did in Sweden, which I find fascinating
and terrifying.
Yep. 17th century in Sweden, they had Moose Cavalry.
Like, that would be... Can you imagine, like, being there on your little horse and being like, yes, we're ready to charge the... Holy crap!
How did that conversation even happen? Like, can you put that... Sven, have you heard these people are using horses in their army? Horses, you say? I think we can go better than that. Unleash the moose.
We don't have a lot of horses, but we do have a lot of moose.
Perky, 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 he'dy get the saddle, he'dy perky, perky moose, he'dy birchkish, birchka, birchka, birchkum.
Pretty much, yeah. That's basically how it went. If anybody's curious, because I found this topic fascinating. The problem with moose and keeping them, they actually can be domesticated just fine. It's really hard to feed them. They eat the fresh growth on trees, and so you need to have a ton of like young trees, and it's very hard to have that on a piece of property.
The problem is that moose travel a lot and eat constantly, and you need a lot of land if you want to house a lot of moose, and you need a lot of moose if you're going to have moose cavalry, because you can't have just 2 dudes on moose. Though, to be fair, even 2 dudes on moose charging you would freak you the shit out.
In Ontario and Canada, though, they did use moose in some rural areas. There were some people who used moose as work animals on farms, which is pretty
exactly
awesome.
Malkiri. And Pelvic Chaos, yes, moose are massive.
Yes,
I honestly don't think there are many animals in the world that scare me more than moose. When you see a moose charging at full tilt through like 6-foot snowdrifts, and the 6 feet of snow aren't slowing this damn thing down at all. It's just running as fast as a car through 6 feet of snow, and you're like,
okay, yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah, no, I don't want to be in the way of that. No, it'd be very effective in battle.
They taste quite nice, though.
They
They
sure
do. Moose are actually really, really dangerous in Canada, and lots of other places. No, it's the problem with moose is if you're driving along at night, and if you hit a deer, it hits your grill, it probably does some damage. You're fine. The problem with a moose is they're so tall that you hit a moose, you hit its legs, and its body goes through your car. Like through the entire windshield of your car. And then the moose gets up and walks away, and you...
No, it doesn't.
I think there's
Neither
something
do you.
slightly more terrifying than that. I think it's deer that have got hearts so powerful it will just continue pumping blood no matter what, so an animal won't lose consciousness. And there are videos of deer that have been hit or maimed by anything, and like 3/4 of their back is just gone, like exposed bone, muscle, and sinew, and they're just walking off. And that's pretty fucking terrifying. A fucking zombie
that's like,
deer.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a scene out of a zombie game. Yeah, to put an exclamation mark on how dangerous it is to hit a moose with your vehicle, in Alberta, a semi-truck driver died from hitting a moose. Usually
Why
you'd
is there only a
think your
semi-
semi-truck would
Why was
win.
there only a semi-truck driver? Was the truck a bit nervous on the night or something?
Sorry, I guess that's what, a lorry in the UK.
All right. Well, now that we've skipped from Star Citizen to Canadiana,
To Moose Cavalry.
thank you, Niscavian, by the way, because I love Moose.
That's funny. Thank you all for joining us. We had a good time.
Yeah, Shiver, what do you got coming up?
Ever, what are you doing?
This week it is still just Vampire Masquerade, Nihon Nights, our modern day VTM V5 Chronicle set in Japan. I believe we have a special guest returning this week, and we've got a tie-up where we left off last week, where they were about to be annihilated by professional vampire killers, basically. Tune in, twitch.tv/Table of Horrors next Friday.
Excellent. Excellent.
I am now going to work on a ghost reindeer just so I can have my players scared by the animal jumping out and saying "Caribou."
Oh my god.
Oh man.
You know what? That to me sounds like a good place to end.
You think so?
Would have been a better place to end before it happened, but we can't go back in time.
Here we are.
Unless we're finding our corpse. And thank you all. Thank you all so much for joining us. It was a lot of fun. So it was a really exhausting week, really exhausting couple days, and really enjoyed doing that with everyone here. So thank you all for coming out and watching and chatting and just everything. Stay safe, stay happy, and glory to Ukraine.